I love you so much, Mama. Love, Jessica, with a little heart. It's like she knew that we were going to need something to help us get through this.
You see little coffins, and your heart has to ache.
She was the type of person that could just light up a room. She always had something kind to say about anybody.
Newtown is forever changed. And Luke came today as a teammate, because that's who we are. That's who Newtown is, right? We're here for the Pintos.
In the face of indescribable violence, in the face of unconscionable evil, you've looked out for each other.
Good evening, I'm Valentina Wilson. West Goforth is off tonight. The first funerals were held in Newtown, Connecticut today for victims of last Friday's massacre. Loved ones said goodbye to two 6-year-old boys who were among the 20 first graders and 6 adults killed. TJ Winnick is live in Newtown tonight.
Good evening. The first 2 of what will be over 24 somber funerals were held today. This is the living memorial in downtown Sandy Hook, where a constant stream of locals and visitors come to remember those lost in Friday's horror. Today in Newtown, a funeral for 6-year-old Noah Posner, who was eulogized as a boy who liked animals, video games, and Mexican food. At his funeral, an onlooker collapsed as the procession passed. Inside, his mother shared stories that had everyone in tears.
She told him, "I love you." His answer was, "Not as much as I love you."
A few miles away, another funeral. Jack Pinto, also 6, a big sports fan, whose favorite New York Giants player, Victor Cruz, wore his name on his cleats during Sunday's game.
I was honored, man. It was, I couldn't even express to them how great that made me feel.
Jack's friends from the wrestling team showed up today in their little uniforms. At a news conference, the normally stoic state trooper who's been briefing reporters choked up when asking for privacy for the families.
This time I can take a couple questions.
He also revealed that there were actually 2 adult survivors of Friday's rampage, not one, both female employees with gunshot wounds.
Certainly, they will shed a great deal of light on the facts and circumstances of this tragic investigation.
With the school itself remaining a crime scene, Sandy Hook students will actually attend a unused middle school in a neighboring town. They will return to classes on Wednesday. Reporting live in Newtown, Connecticut tonight, TJ Winnick, ABC News. Now back to you.
And people in our area continue to pay tribute to the shooting victims. Tonight, the principal of Swansboro Elementary School led a candlelight vigil there. News Channel 12's Keonga Kelly attended the ceremony. She talked to the principal about one of the hot topics, gun control. Keonga is live in our newsroom.
Val, today students arrived at school today asking questions about what happened in that small community, wanting to understand what was going on, and that was when staff and faculty took the opportunity to help students understand that they are loved.
Silent night, holy night. Victoria Soto, Rachel Davino, Lauren Russo.
Swansboro Elementary may be almost 700 miles away from the Sandy Hook community, but the pain and search for understanding that lingers there can be felt among the many who took time out to honor victims.
What a great night for us to be here to honor and remember and show compassion.
It's very difficult even to fathom that such an unconscionable act of evil could take away so much.
While this group weathers the storm, another is brewing on the web. A New Bern woman created a petition on whitehouse.gov, hoping it would eventually allow trained federal and state school administrators and select teachers to carry weapons on school grounds in case of an emergency. So far, 32 people have signed it, but Principal Lisa Peel has a few reservations about the idea.
I could never imagine to think that guns go into schools and kill innocent children, and then we say, oh, well, let's allow our teachers to carry guns around. I don't even think they would feel comfortable.
While America continues to debate gun safety laws, mental health issues, and teachers packing heat, Peel says talk is cheap and that our children need love.
It doesn't take I believe, she believes, he believes. What are you doing? You can talk all you want and argue all you want. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to make a difference?
Now, Peel did mention that there have been counselors on school grounds to assist students if they do have some type of questions. She also mentioned that her and her staff are working effectively, trying to make sure that students know safety precautions, making sure that they understand what to do in case of an emergency. Live in the newsroom, Kianga Kelly, News Channel 12.
Kianga, we've also learned that a 6-year-old girl survived the shooting by playing dead. She was the first student to emerge from the school after the rampage. Greenville police step up security in response to the mass shooting. They added extra patrols today at all of the schools in the city. Kids hopped off the bus this morning and teachers were there to guide them to their classrooms. Police were on patrol on campus. Sergeant Jill Friday says in light of what happened in Connecticut, the department will closely monitor the schools until the holiday break.
We wanted to provide a higher visibility of police officers at our elementary schools around the city, again, just to reassure people to know that things are safe here.
The Pitt County Sheriff's Office also added extra patrols to other schools in the county. School officials say counselors are available to talk with students as needed. And again, police identified the gunman in the shooting as 20-year-old Adam Lanza. His brother says Adam was diagnosed with Asperger's disorder. It's a mild form of autism. We talked to a local clinical psychologist, Dr. Amy James. She says there's no research linking Asperger's with violent behavior.
A certain label being assigned to someone automatically indicates that they're going to be violent or they're going to be a considerable behavior problem or threat to society. Just further stigmatizes mental health.
Some symptoms commonly associated with the disorder are lack of eye contact, difficulty forming attachments with others, and lack of interest in social interaction. The rain continued tonight, but we can expect brighter skies as soon as tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Skip Waters joins us now to show us what he's tracking.
Well, let's start off with Storm Track 12 Live Doppler and show you that rain is hugging the coast right now. It's made it well east of Highway 17. In fact, just over the eastern parts of Carteret, eastern parts of Hyde County. This rain will be moving offshore, and it will be moving offshore pretty quickly here. And that is going to leave us with some very moist ground. You can see we've had a fair amount of rainfall, between 1/4 and 3/4 of an inch of rain. That's going to produce low clouds and fog tonight and tomorrow morning, and then the sun comes out.
A Camp Lejeune Marine accused of murdering a fellow Marine is denied bond. Lance Corporal Marcus Hunt made his first court appearance today in Onslow County. He's charged in the shooting death of 21-year-old Randall Buford Friday night. Investigators found Buford with a gunshot wound to the head at Liberty Crossing Apartments in Jacksonville. That's near the intersection of Gum Branch Road and Henderson Drive. Hunt is due back in court January 7th. A man accused of being an accessory in the shooting of a mother and son faces additional charges tonight. Police say Mr. Height was one of 3 Lenoir County men involved in a breaking and entering of a Kinston home on Thursday. Height, a former Kinston High School basketball and football player, is charged with attempted kidnapping and other charges. Officers say he drove the getaway car in that incident. He's also accused in the shooting of a mother and her 8-year-old son in Smithfield in September. 23-year-old Cairo Hawkins and 17-year-old Jamarcus Witherspoon also face charges. Police say Witherspoon was also involved in a series of break-ins. The men are all held in the Lenoir County Jail under bonds ranging from $105,000 to $350,000. Onslow County deputies arrest a man for allegedly using a knife to rob a store. 54-year-old Edward Kramer of Sneads Ferry is in jail tonight under $75,000 bond. He made his first court appearance this morning. Deputies say Kramer used a knife to rob the Maxway store on Old Folkestone Road in Sneads Ferry Saturday evening. Kramer was arrested later that day. He's charged with robbery with a dangerous weapon and possession of stolen property. Deputies say 2 Carteret County brothers had more than 10,000 pictures of child pornography. One of them is a registered sex offender. 26-year-old Michael Lassiter and 28-year-old Kevin Lassiter, both of Stella, are in jail tonight. Michael is a registered sex offender who was already in custody for violating his parole in May. His bond was set at $200,000. Kevin is held on $75,000 bond. Deputies say the brothers also had 36 videos of minors. Both are charged with 5 counts of third-degree exploitation of a minor. The men are due in court tomorrow morning. An update on a story we've been following closely. The voice of the ECU Pirates, who recently had his 3rd surgery, is making progress. Jeff Charles spoke with our friends at Pirate Radio today. According to the station, the play-by-play announcer was able to stand up, take a few steps, and sit up in a chair on Sunday. Charles remains in the ICU at Vidant Medical Center tonight, but he had more of his tubes taken out and his vitals are good. Charles's family announced he had colon cancer on December 5th. He'd been the voice of the ECU Pirates for 25 years. For many in the military, it's the best gift this holiday season can bring. The men and women of the 24th MEU continue to arrive home in time for Christmas. Their deployment was extended in November due to tensions in the Mediterranean. Close to 200 of them returned to New River Air Station today to the waiting arms of family and friends. Marines say they know what they're getting into when they sign up.
You know, you find out you get extended and you don't know exactly how long. You kind of get down, but you know, you pick yourself back up because you know this is what you came out here to do. You're out here to protect people that can't protect themselves.
2,300 Marines in all are returning from deployment overseas, the last of whom will come back tomorrow. The man third in line for the presidency in case of President Barack Obama's death died himself today. We take a look back at the life and career of Senator Daniel Inouye, and we show you how Congress is reacting to his death.
Chief Meteorologist Skip Waters tracking the showers as they move across the sounds in the Outer Banks. The rain will be gone soon, but the low clouds and fog stick around for the rest of the night and tomorrow morning in your forecast next on WCTI News Channel 12.
Getting the facts right. You're watching News Channel 12 with Valentina Wilson, Wes Goforth, and Storm Track 12 Chief Meteorologist Skip Waters. News Channel 12. Getting the facts right. Alerting you to severe weather dangers in Eastern Carolina. This is Storm Track 12 Chief Meteorologist Skip Waters.
We're going to start off with Storm Track 12 Live Doppler, and we'll show you that the rain is over for most of the mainland of eastern North Carolina. Still some showers out across the sounds. We'll start to the south and show you that the rain has now cleared Onslow County as well as Beaufort. In Carteret County, a little rain in down east Carteret. It's cleared Pamlico, eastern parts of Hyde. Dare County still seeing some rain along the Outer Banks, but you know it should be gone shortly. And as you look down to the south, most of the rain's edging offshore, so I think the rain will be over here by 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Rainfall amounts as we move through the day today are amounted to a quarter to about 3/4 of an inch. We're ending up the year about 1 inch to 2 inches below normal, so this was helpful rainfall in terms of getting our water levels back. No major weather problems for the next 24 to 48 hours, but Thursday could be interesting with some fairly strong thunderstorms crossing with a strong weather system during the afternoon and evening. Tonight, low clouds already in place over Greenville are going to stay there through the night. You'll notice the roadway's still wet. The clouds are low enough and humidity levels high enough to where even though it's not actively raining, there could be a little bit of mist, very light drizzle, that sort of stuff through the late night into the early morning hours. We've been holding at 55 degrees since 5 o'clock this afternoon in Greenville. 62 down along the beaches, only down to 58, so we don't expect too much more of a drop. Lows running about 50 to 54 on the mainland, 54 to 58 toward the coast. Rain came in this afternoon in the process of moving out now, but look, the clouds run all the way back over to the central part of the state. They'll stay with us through the early morning hours tomorrow, but then they should exit offshore. Future Track did a pretty good job of nailing the rain. Has it gone by midnight tonight? Low clouds and fog around for you through the late night into the early morning hours tomorrow, so keep that in mind for your commute. And then we should burn it away by 9 or so to enjoy a nice sunshiny day with just a few wispy high thin clouds, mainly clear skies as we move through Tuesday night. Right now, Wednesday looks to be mostly sunny, another beautiful day. Highs will be well up into the 60s. Wednesday night should be clear, and then on Thursday, we're watching as a weather system approaches, and this will be a fairly strong system as it moves into the area by Thursday afternoon. afternoon, we're looking at some rain showers developing, and then the afternoon and the evening, the potential for some fairly strong thunderstorms to cross, especially down along the south coast from Cape Lookout down to Wilmington. And the wraparound moisture, look at this, above 3,000 feet, there's going to be big-time snow this weekend from Asheville to Boone, all the way up into the mountains of Virginia and West Virginia. But for us, coastal showers will be ending by 3 or so. Low clouds and fog hang around, low to mid-50s. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog early, then mostly sunny for the afternoon, low to mid-60s for highs. Planning forecast keeps us right there. Wednesday, close to 70 Thursday, but rain and storms roll in, followed by sharply cooler air, highs in the 50s, lows near freezing, and that hangs all the way through Christmas Eve.
Nice to see lots of sunshine in the forecast, Skip. You're in the Christmas spirit, right? So you need a little piece of mistletoe here and there. This is a picture of the Mistletoe March in downtown New Bern Saturday. News Channel 12's Jamie McCutcheon and her daughter, Georgia, led the parade along with Bernie the bear. You see the bear on the left. Jamie's in the yellow coat and little Georgia's down below her. This is the first year for the New Bern Chamber of Commerce event. They hope to make it an annual tradition. The second longest serving U.S. senator in our nation's history died today. Other senators speak out about the loss of a patriot. Reaction from Congress next. And when you see news happen, let us know. Give us a call at 800-738-6840. Send an email or comment on our Facebook page. This is News Channel 12 at 11. Thanks for watching News Channel 12 at 11. I'm Valentina Wilson. My partner Wes is off tonight. A judge dismisses most of a federal lawsuit filed by 3 former Duke lacrosse players falsely accused of rape. David Evans, Colin Finnerty, and Reed Seligman were accused of the 2006 rape of a stripper during an off-campus party. The 3 men were Duke lacrosse players at the time. Their charges were later dropped. The men filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Durham and its police department. They claimed malicious prosecution, but today a Raleigh judge dismissed all claims for damages in that suit. The court, however, left intact claims that Durham officials violated the men's constitutional rights. Meanwhile, the woman who falsely accused the men of raping her, Crystal Mangum, continues to await trial on a murder charge. She's accused of stabbing her boyfriend in Durham in April 2011. He died 2 weeks later. Longtime Democratic Senator and decorated war hero Daniel Inouye died today of respiratory complications. Inouye was the president pro temp of the U.S. Senate, meaning he was the 3rd in line in the event of the president's death. Inouye represented Hawaii in the Senate for 5 decades. He was awarded the Medal of Honor after losing his arm in battle during World War II. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid broke the news of his death on the Senate floor.
I've never known anyone like Dan Inouye. No one else has. The kindness and that he has shown me for my time here in the Senate has been something I will cherish always. A man who has lived and breathed the Senate. If there were ever a patriot, Dan Inouye was that patriot.
He was the second longest serving senator in American history, trailing only Senator Robert Byrd of West Virginia. Inouye was 88 years old. In a statement tonight, Senator Richard Burr of North Carolina said, quote, Daniel Inouye was a tireless advocate for the people of Hawaii and our nation, and his spirit, experience, and dedication will be missed in the Senate. He served our country bravely in uniform, and that sense of honor and duty carried over to his service in Washington. Brooks and my thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends and all those whose lives he touched. A dead whale washes ashore on a Florida beach, drawing a big crowd, but just why the sea creature died is still a mystery. This is News Channel 12 at 11. We've certainly seen our share of sea creatures washing ashore on eastern Carolina beaches, but what turned up on a Florida beach today had people in a frenzy. Tamika Bickham has more on this whale of a tale.
South Florida's Sun and Sand is known to attract tourists from all over the world. But today, crowds are flooding the beach, capturing images of something most say they've never seen before.
A dead beached whale. It's really sad.
When I heard that a whale has washed up on my shore of Deerfield Beach, I rushed over here.
An enormous 30-foot sperm whale washed ashore under a Deerfield Beach pier today. The same dead whale was seen in Pompano Beach yesterday, believed to be floating out to sea, but instead, it ended up here.
It was floating out to sea, and we didn't know what would happen to it. We were, we've got people on alert, we've had responders on standby, just in case something like this happened.
She says what killed the whale and why its dead body is here is still unclear. The only thing they can do for now is work on removing its body so they can find out some of those answers.
We will conduct an animal autopsy, which is called a necropsy, and we will sample all of the animal's organ systems. We will check it for trauma, like boat strike or disease, and all of those samples will be sent out to be analyzed, and we will just try and find out what happened.
Hopefully it died of natural causes, and that was Tamika Bickham with that story. In the last 10 years, 9 whales have washed ashore on the Atlantic side of Florida's coast. Meantime, East Carolina's football team leaves for New Orleans tomorrow morning. We hear from the Pirates about their trip to the Big Easy. And a couple of high school football players are all-state selections. Brian North tells us who's the best of the best next on News Channel 12 at 11.
And now, Brian North with News Channel 12 Sports.
Well, the high school football season is over, but the accolades continue to come in for some local players. The All-State team was released today, and no one from our 4 state championship squads of New Bern, Havelock, Southwest Onslow, or Plymouth made the All-State first team. Not even Havelock star Farrell Cooper, who was the MVP of the Shrine Bowl this past weekend, but Swansboro star DeAndre Tompkins, he made it. The senior athlete made the squad as a kick returner. He returned 5 kickoffs for touchdowns this season. He also rushed for 1,400 yards and 10 more TDs. Also on the first team, Tyquan Lewis from Tarboro. The defensive end received 15 of 17 votes. The Ohio State commitment led the Vikings to their 5th straight state championship game. The 6'3", 225-pounder with a 3.5 GPA headed to play for the Buckeyes next year. For a full list of the All-State team, you can go to our website, WCTI12.com. Now we have an update on the 8 and under football team from Carteret County that played in that national championship tournament in Richmond, Virginia this past weekend. They played several games, and the squad from Western Carteret County finished 8th overall in that national tourney. And they received quite the education playing at Hermitage High School. Monday Night Football, former ECU star Chris Johnson wrote the names of all 20 kids murdered in Connecticut on his shoes tonight. Tennessee hosted former Kinston and UNC star Quentin Coples and the Jets, and those shoes, they were burning on this run. Johnson added to his NFL record of touchdown runs longer than 80 yards with this 94-yarder. Now, Quentin Coples playing pretty well. He has his 4th sack of the year tonight, but not enough for the Jets. Jake Locker, he got away for a late touchdown. Right now, Tennessee leading this one 14-10 in the 4th quarter. It's bowl week for East Carolina University. ECU will play Louisiana Lafayette Saturday at noon in New Orleans. News Channel 12 Sports anchor Drew Hinesley getting a good night's sleep, and he'll be following the team to the Big Easy tomorrow morning. The Pirates had their final practice in Greenville today, and they're ready for their business trip, which is a place they played earlier this year.
Just going down there a second time, you're used to the surroundings, you're used to the lighting, it's a little different. Yeah, I think just knowing kind of what you're in for stadium-wise. Obviously, there'll be a few more people there this time, which will make it a little more exciting. But yeah, I think it definitely helps us that we played there already before.
I think everybody's definitely, looking forward to having a few nights to look around. Such a historic place. It's definitely going to be nice to enjoy the area before you play the game.
We've traveled as a group before and throughout the year, but making sure we approached this as we will enjoy New Orleans, but we're going down for one goal is to play our best game next Saturday at 12 o'clock.
ECU played in the Superdome earlier this year, so they know the territory. Start looking for Drew's reports tomorrow night and continuing right up to kickoff Saturday at noon. One other note for you, Duke basketball ranked #1 in the country for the 11th time in the last 16 years. More News Channel 12 at 11 coming right up.
Well, the rain has just about cleared the mainlands over Core Banks, Ocracoke, out across Buxton, and it's moving offshore. It's going to be gone soon. Not much coming up from the south, so once this is gone, we'll say goodbye to the rain. But we'll hang on to the low clouds and fog for the balance of the night tonight with lows in the low to mid-50s. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog early, then becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid-60s. Nice on Wednesday, most of Thursday okay, but by the PM, we're looking at rain and storms, and some of the storms could be fairly strong.
Okay, but it's good to know we're going to have a few days of sunshine here and there, some nice temperatures as we make time for Santa to move on in.
Absolutely.
And thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great one. We'll be back tomorrow.